Do we even have a civilization anymore? Welcome to day 223 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. So I was thinking more on what recently happened the last couple days with things that President Trump has said on the Epstein client list. And now he's backtracked so much about it. And I'll be real with you. He betrayed everyone. Even left-wing news outlets like MSNBC and CNN are saying, are you fucking kidding me on this? So, there's multiple aspects to this. It seems abundantly clear to me, and I think that's one of the reasons it was put in this situation where everybody could see all the intricacies of it. That the president is in some way, shape, or form under duress. I don't even necessarily think it's because he's on the list. He might be in some tangential way, some way that isn't incriminating. But I think it's something else. In his journey to become the president and rectify the fraud that happened in 2020, these parasites, these demonic parasites, sought to unalive him twice and almost succeeded. They left the door open for some doofus to do what they did in Butler, Pennsylvania. And it was a similar situation on his own golf course, the president's own golf course. I don't think that it's because he's on the list in any incriminating way. I think it's because these demonic parasites are so pervasive and so powerful even now that they will do, and this is why he has Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in his team, so that you guys can see this poignantly. They will do what they did to John F. Kennedy, to the president. 3 groups of people were in on the John F. Kennedy unaliving. Back in 1963, is that what it was? The mob, the CIA, and Mossad. The Epstein client list was in some way, shape, or form meant to be a giant blackmail pot repository, right? It is not necessarily that President Trump is not the most powerful person in the world. He is the most powerful person in the world. But you have to understand the humongous non-linearity, dislinearity, or the word that they use in military is, I'm trying to think of it exactly. It's not equal forces opposing one another, and not equal positions. When your enemy operates in the dark, which ours does, it's a demon, or a group of demons, and they may be human, they may look human, but they're demons. When they are party to attempting to unalive a president or a presidential candidate like this, just like they did with John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy Sr. I bet what happened was President Trump said, let me live and I'll forget about the Epstein list, so that he could get a lot of other stuff done. Because he's had 78 years to build his life and his empire, but one well-placed bullet could take him away completely. And he might be 78 years old right now, but there's still a lot of stuff he can do in his life. It's much easier to destroy, maybe 7 to 10 times easier, just using that as a rough estimate, than it is to build. President Trump has been building stuff his whole frickin' life. One well-placed bullet will take him out. One. So he can't release it. And I think everybody in his orbit knows that too. But I will tell you this. The very purpose of civilization itself is to provide a safe environment for the raising of children. And if we can't even do that, then what are we trying to save anyway? The whole system needs to come down. The whole thing. And he's 78 years old. He could easily say exactly what I told you right here on this video. In an interview, maybe on Joe Rogan or something. Say, yeah, the demons were going to unalive me. So I had to make a deal, a Faustian bargain, in order to get to this position. He could literally say that, word for word, basically everything that I said here in this video. And then he could just, on that show, say to everybody, you know what, fuck it. I'm 78. Pam, go ahead. Release the whole damn client list. But then guess what they'll do? What they did to John F. Kennedy's family. It wasn't just John F. Kennedy. It was also Robert F. Kennedy. And many of his other family members that most people don't know about. They'll take away his legacy as best they possibly can. And this is why everybody needs to have their eyes on his family so they know what's going on. Because it will not be hidden. These demons, they are demons. Make no bones about it. Can only thrive in the dark. If you can see proof positive what they're doing, you might not be able to point out where they are. But you'll be able to see generally. And those institutions can be done away with entirely, such as the FBI and the CIA. They should have been done away with entirely the moment President Trump got into office, but that's beside the point, at least right now. So yeah, he can do that. It would be a sacrifice not just of himself, but perhaps of a lot of his family members. Family members that didn't want him to do this to begin with. Family members that were telling him, don't run again. Because they wanted to live. They know the deep, dark, pure, parasitic evil that we are facing. It is a satanic pedophile ring that has been in this world, on this world, for 8,000 plus years. They're parasites. And they will not let go. They will not let go. Even though everybody is in unity saying, get the fuck out. If they do, they die. So they won't. This is huge. You have to understand something very critical I said here. The very purpose of civilization itself is to provide a safe environment for raising children. And if we don't have that, what do we have? Choice is yours, Mr. President. I'm sorry you're in this position. But maybe it'll work out better than you think. Love y'all.